Coming back here on Sportsnet, we're continuing our softball semifinal previews with Doug Gann from 446 Sports and the Pelican Softball Report. You said when you walked in that this is like Christmas week for you.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. This is great. It's what, it comes on you so quick, and then what is it, 57, 58 days of regular season. The dash for Frash is real. I mean, folks have been working on this since January, and here it is in a couple of weeks of playoffs.
We talked about our 6 Cenla teams now going down to Sulphur Friday and Saturday.
Right.
Among those 6, what's the biggest storyline that you're looking out for?
Can Gina finish it? I think that's it. Kiet Cooper and that group, Coach Rourke and that team that's there, they're poised and ready to go. Last year was a tough one for them. They didn't finish it off, but I've seen Kiet pitch so many times this year, and she's as locked in as anybody. Callie Decker and that team. I think Gina's ready to finish one off, and we talked about it off the air. How tremendous for Gina is that going to be?
Yep, and then not too far away from them, LaSalle, who we saw win the state championship last year. Landry Long as just a freshman. Now she's a sophomore, and she's gotten even better. How surprised would you be to see that team go win a 2nd straight state title?
We expect that too, and we've talked to Coach Long a couple of times during the season. It's his first year as the full head coach. He was an assistant before that, but big things happening in Alla. I mean, they really get after it. They'll come after it the entire time, and they're going to have such a crowd down there and that's what makes Frash so special is the crowd and the support, and LaSalle is going to have it. I like LaSalle to repeat.
And in Pineville, I think when we did the season previews a few months ago, that we weren't sure if this would be a Pineville State Championship team last year. They were loaded. They come up short in the quarterfinals at home. Now they're back. They've looked really, really good, especially in these last 2 playoff games. What has it been like to see this run from them, and what is it going to take in a very tough Division I select to go win a title?
Division I select, and I made this mistake in our previews as well. I'd say that this bracket's the toughest, and then this bracket's the toughest. And when you look at this one, well, it's the toughest, but this one truly is. I mean, you've got the 3 New Orleans teams, and you've got Pineville. I think the secret in this, though, is they got back a vital piece of their lineup when Briley Burns came back from her injury. And the 2027 star just cements it, not only defensively, not only in the lineup, but her leadership that's out there. And folks focus on her. When we talked to Coach Fry prior to the season start, she's like, we're young, we've just got to gel, we've got to replace a lot of people. Man, they've done it. They're sitting at number 2, and they're poised. Now, they've got a big matchup on Friday with Chappelle. Chappelle is historically in Frash. Coach O'Brien does such a great job of getting them. They're a storied program that's down there. But I like the momentum and the spot that Pineville's in right now, and I think this is a year Coach Fry gets it done.
And Pineville lost to Chappelle last year in the quarterfinals and a couple years before that, so potential revenge spot for the Lady Rebels.
Right.
I want to talk a little bit about experience. It's something we talked about off air, how teams like LaSalle and Gina have been here multiple years in a row. Looking at some of these Class B teams, especially in Hicks, a team that hasn't been there much, just the 3rd time ever for them. Does it matter in your mind, the teams who have experience playing in Sulphur versus the teams who do not?
Look, I think it matters as much as it does when you've seen a team in the Superdome, because when you walk in the Superdome for football and it's so loud and it's in there and it's the Superdome, when you get into Frash, I don't think there's anything like Frash because everybody's so close, and you'll hear screaming from a field over, and if you hesitate or you bobble just a minute and look over and see what's going on, you could get a screaming line drive by you. You could take strike 3. A lot of things could happen. So the teams that have been there and they're able to just block that out, I think they've got a better shot at it.
You think that's another thing for coaching as well? I know some of these coaches have been all over the place at different schools. Does their approach change in a Sulphur-like environment versus maybe a home field advantage?
Well, if you look back historically at teams that are successful in there, they're multi-year successful teams, and you start to see it. Look at Coach Dodson up at Quitman. You know, they've back-to-back in Class B and looking poised to make another one here at his return there at Quitman. Coaching plays all of it because you can tell your girls, this is what we're going to see. This is how it's going to be. Don't get caught up in the moment. You hear a lot of coaches say, our goal is to make it to Sulphur. These coaches that are winning it, their job, they're expecting to be to Sulphur. They're not booking their reservations early on, but they're expecting to be there and saying, hey, look, cool your jets. This is what we've come here for. We've got a job to do. It's a 2-game season from here on out, and treat it that way.
Stanley and Quitman are the 1 and the 2 seeds in Class B. Anacoco and Hicks, the 3s and the 4s. What are the chances for those two Vernon Parish District rivals to possibly get a chance to play for the state championship against two teams who are regularly playing for the state title?
And look, Hicks is going to be there. They're not going to be there this year. And before you send the hate mail to me, I've got to pick some. But they're really good. Cortland Ducey in the circle is talented. They've got a great group of young players. Had a 7th grader starting for them too. They're going to be really good. Quitman's loaded. Stanley's loaded. Stanley's got 2 senior all-stars. They've got one. They've got a couple of girls that are playing on our Pelican softball report game. Our all-star game. And so there's just a ton of talent. Quitman's got Maggie Guyot, who went over 75 home runs in her career on there. So she's just been pounding the softball. She'll go into Louisiana Tech. They're loaded as well. And I think if that would probably be one of the biggest upset if it's not Stanley and Quitman playing for it in Class B. And boy, I was bulletin board material last year.
Yep.
And I'm going to be that way again, I guess. But Quitman three-peats. They go and do it again.
You're sticking to your strategy. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Lastly, Class C, Simpson, the girls basketball powerhouse. They decided to pick up some softball bats, and now they have a chance to win another state championship. How crazy has that been to see? Now they're going to go play a good Northside team.
They're sitting there at 13, I guess is what they are.
Yep.
Yeah, they're 13, and so they've knocked off the 4 and they knocked off the 5. That's been the problem with schools that are smaller schools, the B and the C schools, because you have so many softball players and you have so many basketball players that are joint playing these games. And so you've got to take a little bit of time to gel. Simpson's doing that right now, and they are tough draw at 13. And I think there's a chance that they hoist another one as well. Look, that C is going to be fun to watch.
Another potential Class C Cinderella coming from Cenla. A lot of C's alliteration there. Last year was Calvin adding to there. Doug, thanks for joining us in studio, and we'll see you hopefully down in Sulphur next Saturday.
Absolutely looking forward to it.
Awesome. We're right back here with our ACA Athlete of the Week after this break.